So Brandon, tell us, what's the best advice that you were ever given?
Well, best writing advice I was ever given was I went to dinner with my mother and her friend, who was this pompous lawyer, and I just, he's like, so, what are you going to do with your life? And I said, you know, I also write novels, by the way. I have a novel out, one coming out within the next year. I said, I'm going to be a novelist. And he goes, a novelist? He's like, you'll never be a novelist. You'll never be any kind of writer because you're not prolific. He's like, I said, oh. He's like, you have to get up in the morning and write every day. So I took his insult and I used it as advice and scheduled time to write. And I haven't had writer's block or anything since. And I've got way larger body of work and stuff will be coming out after I'm done.
Amazing. Thank you very much. So we'll ask our next poet. What's the best advice you've been ever given?
You can never make it as a writer or a poet. You can't write a line. And I was in grade 6, and I was trying composition writing, and that's what my teacher told me. And when I published my first book, I sent her a copy.
Excellent. So in other words, never give up and always go after your dream no matter what anyone says, because anything is possible, correct?
Yes.
And our third poet?
Very similar actually, strangely enough. I'm also a publisher, and this was the first book that I started, I published for my publishing company, and I've done 27 since then. But I went around telling everybody, anybody who would stand still and listen to me, that I wanted to do this. I wanted to publish my poetry. I wanted to start a publishing company because I have a background in publishing. And then we were at that party, and I started on this guy, and he turned around and he told me, he says, you've been saying this for over a year. Why didn't you just do it? And I was shocked. I mean, I mean, he was true. It was right. I was talking about something, and I talked it to death. I knew what I had to do. It's just that I could take the next step and actually start doing what I wanted to do, and it turned out to be really good advice because I took the next step. So,
Excellent. So taking action is what got you to the next step. Beautiful.
don't just dream, just follow.
Go for your dreams. And amazing. Thank you. So what I'll do is the next question I'll ask is to Brandon. What is the meaning of writing for you?
Well, funny that we have this balance theme. I find that everything I do comes from a quest for balance in writing. I take something that's out of balance in my life, and I try to open up to the Lord and let it channel through me, take on a life of its own, lives outside of me and is no longer within me.
Beautiful. So it comes right through you.
And out. It's kind of
Excellent.
so my writing is like a form of excrement or something. But yeah, it gives me balance. And,
So balance is definitely the key.
totally the key.
And our next lovely poet.
I think it's funny that we have the same answers. But I would say it differently, and it keeps me sane. In rather than being angry over a situation or lashing out at someone, I go quietly in the corner and I write it out. And sometimes I flush it down the toilet. Really, it's like that for me. It's therapy.
Right, definitely. I know for a lot of people, they say writing is a form of therapy for the soul. So you agree?
I agree. It has what has kept me thus far, and most of my writing has come from that kind of energy.
Excellent. Beautiful answer. Thank you.
No, I shouldn't be asked that question.
No? Okay, so we'll ask
I'm
you
a
another
very,
one.
no, I'm a very,
Okay.
I lack discipline as far as a writer is concerned. The thing about writing every day, it's really good, and if you keep a journal, nice because it flows through. I don't do that as often. I get so involved in other people's writing,
Right.
and then mine really suffers as a result of that.
Okay. All right, excellent. So the next question, let's see. Okay, so this is my favorite question. If the whole world was listening, what would you say, Brendan?
I have a book for sale. I'm gonna have to go second because I'm not. It's not okay.
I'm not going to pitch and say this pitch.
Okay, our next lovely poet. What would you say if the whole world were listening? What message would you have?
Go back to writing. I think we are so engrossed in technology and we're keeping abreast with what's out and the latest album and all of that. Go back to writing. Go back to reading.
Okay,
And we would have a much better world, I think.
definitely. So you believe that it's important to keep the mind sort of expanding through reading and the old-fashioned writing.
And the old-fashioned writing. Go back.
Excellent answer. Thank you.
Very good.
And our lovely poet.
I would say slow down. Slow down and appreciate things. Read a lot. I mean, that influences your writing so much. And I think you can't separate the two. Take quiet time and.
Yes. Excellent answer. And I truly believe that slowing down is a form of balance as well, which is part of our theme, right? Slowing down and balancing. Excellent. Okay, so next question. What feature or quality do you find most interesting in another person? Brandon, what do you think?
Quality or feature that I find most interesting in another person has to be their intellect and how they use that intellect. Do they come to the play with something new?
Okay, good answer. Thank you. All right. What feature or quality do you find most interesting in another person? What do you admire or would you like to emulate the most in another person that you see?
This is hard to ask from another person, but I think honesty.
Honesty, okay.
Being true to yourself, showing me who you are rather than giving me a whole charade.
So being real and genuine as well as honest. Excellent answer. Thank you.
I think I tend to admire people who are comfortable in their own skin, and whatever their background is, wherever. That's something that coming from out into Canada, I find Canadians, North Americans for that matter, very comfortable in themselves. They don't, in the classroom, the students are so comfortable with their teachers and. My background, no way.
Right, so it's a level of confidence that you admire as well.
And and then it encourages you also to be more forthright and honest.
Yes, excellent answers. Thank you very much, panel. And let's see. So Brandon, if there's one thing that you change about yourself, what's that one thing that you change? To change the world.
Change the world
Yeah.
or change the
You can choose.
Okay,
About
let's
myself or change about
What's
the
one
world?
thing to change the world? Okay, so it's a two-part question. So let me
Okay.
start over. What's one thing that you'd like to change about yourself?
Oh, doesn't matter. Choose one. Pick one. You.
Okay, I
Yeah,
can
we'll
do
do
both.
that.
I know what you're
We'll
trying
do
to
both.
ask.
And what would you do to change
Okay.
the world? How about that?
A friend of mine and fellow poet, Susan Monroe, said, "You are capable of turning lead into gold, but you can't turn your time into money." I would start turning my time into money.
Okay.
Let's see. I think change about the world. I would try to have everything more balanced. Economics, the environment, relations. Just everybody needs to take a balanced view. If we can achieve that somehow.
Excellent. And balance is our theme. Thank you very much.
Yes.
So let's see.
I have
I'll
to answer
repeat the
both.
question.
Okay.
So what's the one thing that you change about yourself? And then what's the one thing that you change about the world as a whole?
I think to change about myself, we're trying to believe that that everything is supposed to be perfect. Try to get a grip on reality. That's too much information. But I guess it comes from being a writer and being a poet, and we dream and we see things differently, and I'm trying to divorce the two. I think I need to work on that.
Okay.
Change about the world. I'm big on world peace. I don't know if I can make the world.
World peace.
World peace.
Excellent answer. Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
So,
this is so
it's a very deep question, so I'll read it. So
we
what's
said everything.
So the one thing that you changed about yourself?
Oh, lots of things.
Just pick one.
Stop trying to fix everything.
Okay.
And just be, a little laid back about things. It's not the end of the world. When my kid tells me he wants to leave Catholic school and will go to public school because there's hope on there. Rules, not to be so uptight about rules. And, I think when most of us grow up in a very restricted background, those of us who have, we tend to pass that on to our kids, even though we rebelled against it in our own childhood. So I would like to change that about myself, not be so uptight about the way God perceives us.
Okay, excellent. And what would you change about the world?
Same thing.
Same thing.
The other way.
Beautiful answer. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you all for the beautiful. Very good. Very good. So now I want to invite Casey Oakley to come. We want to thank you for facilitate this room and organize this event. Branch's manager, Cassie Oakley.
Thank you. I really
Thank you.
enjoyed the evening. I enjoyed every one of the readings, and I got an education in poetry. So thank you, Hannah, for organizing this, and it was very enjoyable. I hope you all enjoyed it too.
Okay, thank you. The last thing I want to say to your audience, I think you come out to have fun with us. Thank you very much. Thank you. See you next year. Okay. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Do you have fun? Do you have fun? Okay, good.
That's a great evening. Thank you so much. You did great.
Just quick, let me finish.
You should go now. Will I ever go to that?
But why not? Okay. When are you
Great interviewer.
I guess
Your poems really work. It's those beautiful poems you had up there tonight. I know I've read your books, but they really work. Yeah.
because I see very good. Okay, thank you. Yeah, okay, thank you. Yeah, this is my friend. Yeah.
It's a real pleasure. It's nice to meet you.